Boys, pour yourselves a glass of port because we're talking HD remakes, remasters, and you guessed it, ports. What's up? It's another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me, as always, is Eddie White Chocolate V.
Hello, everybody.
And back from his recent trip across Trump's northern shiny new ice wall, everybody's favorite snow Mexican, Adrian motherfucking Nieto.
Hey, everyone. That was a great intro.
I had been deciding what to do for that all fucking day.
To anyone listening, thanks for having me again. If I'm coming with like weird quality, it's because I'm using my phone, because my computer won't connect. So I apologize to any listeners in advance. Hopefully, it will be good enough for your listening pleasure. But just a fair warning, I guess.
It seems to have straightened out from earlier, so I wouldn't complain too hard. So, well, shit. Let's start with the usual rundown. And this time, since he's back from the dead again, Adrian, what have you been playing this week?
Oh boy. Not much, because I've been like kind of busy. However, like I got the X collection a while ago, so I've been tackling my favorite game every so often. Kind of like one boss every 3 days or so. Overwatch when my internet allows it. Not much lately though, stupid internet. And I also was able to download Semblance on Switch. So also that. Whenever I'm like sitting on the bus or whatever, it's a fun game.
Yeah, tell us about it.
So Semblance is these I don't know how to describe it properly, but it's kind of like a very minimalistic art style, a puzzle platformer game. Not much emphasis on the platformer though. More about like on the puzzles and whatnot. The real deal about it though is that you can basically transform the world around you. So you can dash into like walls and some platforms and whatnot, and basically you push them up, down, left, right, whatever. And with that, you are basically solving puzzles, trying to, I think, restore your world. I have no idea really what's happening. Again, it's minimalistic, so like the story is like on the background is told by like pieces of art like hidden around the world that they're up to interpretation, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a really cool game. I think it's it's like $15 if I'm not mistaken on the eShop. So it's very much on the cheap side, and I think it's worth picking up. A chill game to play when you just doing whatever.
Okay. Speaking of chill games, did you get to check out Shape of the World?
No, which one is that?
Came out maybe a month or so ago, maybe 2 months max on Switch. It's I don't know if walking sim's the right game, but I mean there's no real combat. It's very experience heavy is probably the best way I can put it. It kind of just procedurally generates and forms the world around you as you go walking around, and you're looking for certain like rocks and touchstones to interact with to create stairwells that'll let you walk up further as you climb your way through this world, and looking for the little triangle arches to pass through to get to the next sections of the game. It's a super chill vibe, really well done, well matched music for the whole thing. Like I told Eddie when I was playing it, it's not real long. It's maybe a 2.5 hour sit through, but there's a couple sections in the later parts of the game where the color palette choices probably could have been a little better because everything got a little too dark to be reasonably distinguishable from one another. But
yeah,
overall though, was super fucking. It was real pretty. It's one of those things that you kind of want to get yourself a little stoned and play it. I'm not advocating for drug use anywhere that it's not legal, but it's one of those games that a little pot mixed with it would probably go a long ways.
And you said it's called Reform
Shape,
the World?
Shape of the World.
Shape of the World, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm trying to find it here in the eShop so I can add it to my wish list. So I can review
I know.
it
The
later.
problem being, as fast as they keep putting stuff out, everything gets buried so quick.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm just scrolling down everything, and, the internet not helping out either.
Right.
So it's
So
taking
you got that
twice
handy
as
dandy
long.
search bar, too.
Yeah, it's... Oh, that's true. Let's try that.
But yeah. So that's one that you might want to check out, too, just to kind of... If you're looking for something similar that's that very chill vibe sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm very much into enjoying just relaxing kind of games lately. Like I have Mega Man X that finally released on Switch, so I'm basically covered for my platforming action needs.
Yeah.
Since it's my favorite game. And, whenever the internet allows for me to play Overwatch or Fortnite or whatever, I have my action-packed, experiences. So, honestly, that's all I want to check right now when I'm in the bus or whatever. Just a chill game. Just something to relax from mind, just disconnect the brain. I don't know. As long as I can, really. Before going back to doing more work or, just... whatever, I guess.
Right on. So, Eddie, what's been spinning in your disc tray?
So, for Xbox One, I've been playing Mafia 3, getting done, finishing up some things with that game. Really enjoying it. I think I'm at the halfway point. I just got a few more mob bosses to get rid of and then go off the main boss. Then I'll be done with the game. Played Resident Evil 4 on Xbox One, and I was dying a lot, and I was just like, I gotta get used to these controls, because I haven't played the game in a while, and when I originally played it, I played it on GameCube, and so it was easier to control that way. It just feels a little bit different, and the aiming is kind of shaky for some reason. It wasn't shaky like that on GameCube, but it's just like, when I zoom in to get ready to attack, my camera thing is just moving around, and I'm not pressing nothing. I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, it doesn't do that on the GameCube or even the Wii version. But played those two. Played some more Titanfall 2 on PlayStation 4, so I'll get it done with that. And now on to Nintendo Switch. So, Graceful Exposure Machine, working to get my D grades and C grades up to a level B before I try to figure out how I'm going to get up to an A. But working on that. Played some Wizards of Legends, and continue to enjoy that. And my copy of Dead Cells came in.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So I only played it for 15 minutes. I haven't returned back to it because I'm working on Mafia 3, trying to get that out of the way. But I will return to Dead Cells. I'll have more of it on next show to talk more about it. Because when I was playing Dead Cells, I was just like, this and Wizards of Legends do the same thing, but one is top down, one is 2D platform, and they're both great, like to have to play. I think Dead Cells is a little bit more easier than Wizards of Legend, but I'm digging both. It feels good in Dead Cells when you get more powerful weapons and you get to live longer and progress further and stuff. So I've been enjoying that. But last but not least, what I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about was Yuko's Island Express.
Yes.
So now I haven't bought the game yet. But I do plan on buying it. Budget reasons while I'm getting a little bit later. But I played the demo, and this is probably the best pinball platforming game I've ever played. The physics are so spot on in this. Graphically, it's beautiful. It's phenomenal. Like,
it's super bright, super colorful, super pretty.
I'm assuming this game came out this year, right?
Yeah.
Was it a couple of months ago or?
Yep.
Okay, so
it's recent.
Okay, so if I had to put it in a place, it's like a Game of the Year nomination, just by the demo. Because I love me some pinball, and I love platformers, and I kind of love when I got the little ant pushing the ball or the little bug pushing the ball. It's so funny yet cute. Yet it fits, and like the pinball is like attached to him. He got his little hat for it, and it's completely wonderful. And if you ever feel like you stuck in a section, it only probably takes you about maybe 45 to a minute to get out, because you just got to get to certain areas and bounce around and time it and stuff. But it's super cool. It's really, really good. Like, it's definitely going on my Switch, and hopefully if they ever get a physical copy of this game, I would double dip and get a physical.
There is actually, yeah.
I already double dipped on it.
When is it coming out? Did they announce
it's already out, dude. I own it.
Oh, then I'm just gonna go buy the physical, and not buy the digital then.
Be forewarned, hard copy is gonna run you $40 on Switch.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I was a little irked at that because the Xbox One and the PS4 versions were $30, and the digital on Switch is only $20. So I'm like, seriously, I'm paying double for the hard. God damn it!
Doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm used
to
it.
Know. Like I said, it was good enough. I double dipped on it anyways, but
right. And I could understand whatever the cartridge thing and the production and stuff and how cost and stuff need to come down. But I'm like, for a game that good, you would sacrifice $40 for it. Heck, people have been sacrificing $100+ for like Evolve, and look what happened to that game.
Mm-hmm.
So $40.
Yeah, I mean,
$40 for an indie game physical? Come on now, y'all mugs did it for Thumper because you sold it out in 5 minutes on limited run games. $40 for a physical copy of Yoko Island Express is well deserved. And plus, it makes your Nintendo Switch library physical wise look really good and bigger.
Oh yeah.
So,
now that being said, though, there's a lot of shit in that Thumper collection.
Well, yeah, that is true.
The physical of Yoku is really like most of the other Switch games. Hard copy is honestly pretty bare bones. I was a little sad about that, but I will tell you though, Yoku's Island Express is way fucking bigger than you think it is.
Oh yeah,
it is sizable. Map wise, it's not quite as big as like Hollow Knight, but it's fucking big.
I mean,
it is a Metroidvania.
When you look at the trailer and you look at the gameplay, like just doing the pinball stuff, that's going to make the game time longer because you're not going to be able to hit everything just one and be one and done. No, that kind of takes time to get shots and stuff lined up and figure out how you're going to get out of it and everything. So I feel like it's for $40. As if it gives me like 5 to 6+ hours with the game, and I'm trying to collect as much as I can, like 100% it, and it goes, my gameplay goes longer than that. It's worth it to me. So,
Oh yeah, I mean you'll get your money's worth out of it, definitely. The boss fights in that are super clever too. They are really good.
yeah, that's why it's just like that demo spoiled me, and that's why I had to wait for the show to express because it really is. When I controlled it, I'm like, oh, the controls feel good, and then when I start doing the pinball, I'm like, they got the physics right. Like,
Oh yeah.
And I would say this, and I don't care how much heat I would get for it. If you play Yoko Island Express and then you play Sonic Spinball, you can see the difference.
hmm Easily top 3 pinball games ever made.
Yeah, but dude, end up getting mad for a bit because I'm like, dang, now I want Devil's Crush to come on Switch, like straight turn that mug vertical and have like a pinboard thing. Because like the other pinboard one, I'm like, oh, that's cool, but I'm just like, no, Devil Crush was like probably one of the best pinball games that I've ever played, and board wise.
I'll tell you what we need to come to Switch. I need a Switch port of Flipnik. That'd do it for me.
That is a long stretch. I do know that game. I didn't play it, but I know the title of it.
Yeah, you did. You played it when you were here.
I didn't play Flipnik with you.
Yeah, you did.
Was that the one that we played? Was it PS1?
Yeah, PS2. It's all super trippy and looks like it's pinball on LSD.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of something else. Okay. I was just like, I didn't play Flipnik. I'm like,
I know you've played Flipnik. I made you play that shit.
Okay, well, I play Flipnik, everybody. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I like I said, I am going to be jumping back into Dead Cells. I'm going to be jumping back to Detroit Become Human and some more games for Switch. But I'm so into Mafia 3 right now that I want to get it done because I had the game for almost like a year and a half, and like I had the PS4 version for 2 years. So I'm playing it on Xbox One because I want to get it like out the way. So when I play it for PS4, I could just skip whatever I need to skip because I know what to do, and then go back and get the rest of the trophies and stuff later on.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been playing.
Right on. What have I been spinning lately? Been dabbling with more Lumines. I found something that helps me with the eye strain with Lumines. And you're gonna think this is fucking weird, but it actually helped. I popped my Switch onto the TV downstairs in the living room here on the big screen, and I turned on the 3D. The 3D actually helps the eye strain. It helps me visually sort out what's background and what's actually happening in the game. I did better than I ever have by turning the fucking 3D on my TV on with Lumines.
Nice.
So, I'm pleased with that fact, and I haven't played with the 3D on my TV in a while, and so it kind of got me wondering while I had the glasses out again. Excuse me. Dying of summer allergies. But in any case, so I piddled around with a couple of other games in 3D just to kind of take a look at it. Hollow Knight, I like the 3D effect is super subtle, but it's just enough to give it a nice little pop. I dinked around with Axiom a bit in 3D, and Axiom looks great in 3D. Oh, it looks so good. What else did I play? I'm really itching for my copy of Dead Cells to get here, but I know mine's going to take the longest because I ordered the signature. It's shipped out on Friday, and it's a 1 to 2 week shipping time because it's coming from overseas.
Yeah, mine from Amazon said the 21st, but it came that Friday, like the 17th, so it came early.
Nice. Yeah, I'm still waiting for tracking information on mine to show up, but it'll get here. I've got time. But in any case, I picked up my excuse me. I picked up my 3DS again today too, and I started piddling around with Samus Returns again. I'm working through another run, just kind of picking off all the cleanup now. Last time I put it down, I stopped right after the queen, so I'm basically just ripping through everything again to pick up all the loose ends, and then I'm going to go off Ridley. I started getting an inkling that I wanted to play Majora's Mask on 3DS as well, just because I've honestly, I bought it when it came out on 3DS. I played a couple hours of it, and I put it down, and I never went back to it. And that's all I've ever played of Majora's Mask. I've never actually finished it, or played it all the way through. And I'm starting to think I'd like to. That and Wind Waker is really, or not Wind Waker, but Skyward Sword is really the other one that's kind of in my pile of shame as far as Zelda games go that I'd like to finish playing, but just never did. Because every time I think I want to play a Zelda game, I go back to ones that I like better, like Breath of the Wild or Twilight Princess.
Oh, because there are better games than Majora's Mask and Skyward, though.
I know, but every time I watch something about Majora's Mask, I keep looking at it thinking I would really like to dig into like the story thematic stuff that Majora's Mask gets into, just because it's so off the beaten path by comparison. And I like games that do unique shit like that thematically.
Once again,
yeah, I guess that's fair.
So
I can't get into Majora's Mask. I place it higher than Legend of Zelda Link 2, Zelda 2, but I cannot just do that game. I can't have a time day like that with Zelda. Just
heathen.
I'm always been it. Why am I always got to be a heathen for?
Putting down one of the best Zelda games ever made.
Please.
Jesus.
If I was going to do that, then I've been talking bad about Breath of the Wild.
I'm not saying Breath of the Wild isn't up there, too.
Or
but...
Skyward Sword. Or Twilight Princess.
A Link Between Worlds.
Or A Link Between Worlds.
Baby.
Link to the Past. Oracles of Ages. Oracles of Season. Link's Awakening. Hold on. Link's Awakening DX. Because that was the color version. And I had both of them.
That's the only one I play, so I feel you there.
Eddie has a color preference.
And I'm just saying that it was called DX. Oh, and
I just got it.
I know. The one with the hat for Game Boy Advance.
Minish Cap.
If I was going to talk
like
bad, I was talking about
Minish Cap was good.
Yeah, Minish Cap was really good.
Props to the Ambassador program for 3DS, because that's the only reason I ever played Minish Cap.
Oh, shoot. I ran to the store to buy that. I still got my copy.
So, but, yeah, that's... Speaking of Capcom-made games, I don't know if I told you, I ordered my import copy of Okami for Switch as well.
Nice.
So that should be here in a couple of weeks as well.
When I get paid...
I did some looking, and I did see that there is an English language option on the Japanese cartridge. So I'm like, cool, that's it, sold.
I'm going to be buying it digitally next month when I get paid again. I'll have a bigger check. But yeah, like I have to have Okami.
Dude, there were some mad expensive special editions of that for Switch overseas. Like I was looking at a couple of them, and a few of them were ranging in like the $200 to $300 mark. I was like, "What the fuck?" But they're out there. So
yeah, there's one that came with the soundtrack and whatnot. I kind of wanted that, but
the soundtrack I think was like $60.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. But I already have a PS3 copy import.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually better in the long run than the Switch version. So I may just pick up the digital copy whenever I have money. I actually had to cancel Slain, Back to Hell, and Rumbo for Switch physical today because I'm running out of money, sadly.
Dude, I wasn't that impressed with Slain.
Yeah, that's kind of what you made it an easy decision for me. Like, I know what you like, and I know like I figure, hey, this like if the soundtrack at least and the gameplay makes Larry go, oh man, this is good, then like
The
I'll keep it.
soundtrack's great, but the gameplay doesn't hold up.
Exactly. So I was like, you didn't really seem to like it, and I asked a couple of other people. They kind of said the same thing. I was like, well, you know what, whatever. I'm playing something else then. So I canceled both, and hopefully I'll have money now to get something else, but not holding my breath.
Yeah, I'll throw this out there.
Iconic Class needs to be on your Switch, Adrian.
You know
That's
what? Like
another
I
one.
saw the gameplay for it, and I thought it was like an interesting idea, but I don't know. Like I feel like it will get old quickly. Like,
Oh no, you're going to spend 15 plus hours with that. It's long.
The more I'm digging into Iconoclast, the more I'm liking it. That's the other one I played with the 3D on, and holy fuck, that thing pops. That shit looks hella good in 3D, by the way. But no, that's the other one that I've been playing too, is some more Iconoclast, and like I said, the more I'm playing, the more I'm starting to really sink into it. But my initial assessment stands. It lives just outside the outskirts of the realm of being a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
It's as close as you can get to being one without actually being a Metroidvania. So, but I mean, the combat's solid. The boss fights are fun and clever. The movement and the traversal feel really good. The story's excellent. So I'm having a ball with it. So, but that's what's been on my my playlist lately. But yeah, running back to Okami for a second though. I'm getting the Switch version just for the portability factor, but I will say frankly, if I want a console version of Okami, I still think the Wii version is the definitive. The pointer controls for the paintbrush mechanics were fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I played that one too first, and it was great.
I love my IGN watermarked artwork for that.
Yeah, see,
Capcom doing some old school plagiarism before it was popular.
Because I own it on PS3, I skipped the Wii version. But I still want the Xbox One version, the box one, because I like that green with the cover art, and it
does look good.
Yeah, and then of course
go
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like the best reason to get Okami on Switch, even though you can get it like freaking everywhere now. It's like Laura said, the portability. That game is so freaking long. Like it's an amazing game, but
oh god,
boy,
yeah, that game is a solid like 40 hours.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Like that game would have been great if you chop like 20, like at least 10 hours. 20 would have been better, but at least 10 hours.
I mean, it was a $50 game that had a different art style that was like very innovative because it was something that no one in the industry had ever tried.
Done before.
Right. Like Clover got on the level of Nintendo on the opposite system. There's never been a game like that that's happened to Nintendo.
Well, there was. It was called Twilight Princess.
I'm talking about another company going against one of Nintendo's IPs and matching the same level.
No, I mean, honestly, between the two, because keeping in mind, Okami and Twilight came out the same year. Honestly, I think Okami out-Zelda'd Zelda that year.
Yeah, I agree.
They made a better Zelda game than Zelda did. That's not to say that I don't still adore Twilight Princess, because I do.
I would disagree with.
I don't know. I mean, it was all there for me.
Okami had the Zelda formula. Twilight Princess kind of messed around with their normal formula.
Not much.
I mean, messed around with it as in being able to do more stuff and explore in the world. you really couldn't do that much with Okami, because she was like feeding animals. You was kind of getting currency. You kind of had to buy your weapons and armor and stuff like that. So it did something different that wasn't in a Zelda game. But if you just look at the basic formula, they both equal the same thing. You know, you get your quest, you go to the dungeon, you find the item, you beat the boss, and something you recover something at the end. Whether it was getting the animal, and that spirit of, and stuff, versus like getting a Triforce or a Ruby or whatever, or the Heart Container or whatever piece that you needed from there. So just that basic formula, they match. It's just that Okami, when it first came out, was on PlayStation 2 exclusive, and there had been no other game to match Zelda in basic form with the formula like that. So,
yeah, I think if Okami had originally released on at least GameCube as well, much better, like much sooner on Wii though, it would have sold so much better.
Yeah.
Than it did originally.
Well, it was the thing that after the Capcom 5, Capcom probably decided not to do it because they felt like they didn't get enough sales. We didn't
even get the whole Capcom 5 shit.
Yeah.
But that was more of Capcom's fault than Nintendo in the play.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing. That being said, super underappreciated member of the Capcom 5 though, Piano 3 is way better than it gets credit for.
I haven't played it.
I didn't play it neither. I kind of wish that Capcom explained it and marketed it well, because they just look like they dropped that game and then moved on real quick. They didn't get no kind of marketing, and people didn't give no kind of coverage or interviews about it. So it was. That's
what Capcom did with the entire Capcom 5, though.
With the exception of Resident Evil.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, well, that's what I've been playing. So I think here's a perfectly good place to break before we get into our deep dive topic for the week: HD remakes, remasters, and ports. So in that case, break, and we're back. So this week we decided, instead of doing the usual shtick of news, rumors, and general rumblings, we thought we'd deep dive on a particular subject again. It's been a while since we've gotten into this. So this week we're talking HD remasters, remakes, and ports. I kind of was wanting to dig into this now that we're a year and a half into the Switch, and that's been a big driving factor for a lot of the success of the Switch, is the demand for like seemingly everything to come to Switch. There's been some really, really great successful ports. Doom has done exceptionally well on Switch, getting ported over from Xbox One and PS4. We're seeing other things come around. Just announced this week was Diablo 3 Eternal coming to Switch. But it kind of got me wondering, are we teetering on the edge of messing up the balance of original content on Switch versus ports and reworks of older games coming up to Switch? Like we started talking about earlier, Okami is getting its third, fourth iteration, having just come to Switch as well as the other consoles. This is the third generation that Okami has come around. Others like Twilight Princess getting the port treatment on the Wii U, where they took the opportunity to fine tune that game a little bit, same as they did with Wind Waker. It kind of got me wondering, at what point do we stop doing? What point is enough of a re-release of a game? We've seen a couple re-releases of God of War. Eco and Shadow of the Colossus have gotten the treatment a couple of times. When is enough? At what point does a new console come out and we go, you know what? I don't need that again.
It doesn't stop. It kind of gets we're in a transferring kind of way on how we look at ports. I was talking to Adrian about it, and people were mad at Microsoft and Sony allowing ports coming to Xbox One and PS4. They showed all these beautiful games that talked about all this next gen stuff, and then 75% of the games that's being released are games that it did well on last generation, but people are over it and moving past that. And they're not interested in playing these ports. They spent all this money to be playing these new games. So they kind of wonder, where is the delivery at? Why they're not delivering on their promise? With Nintendo getting a lot of ports and remasters and remakes, a lot of people are, and I'm going to add Steam to this. A lot of people who didn't play all of those games on Steam, Xbox or PlayStation, when they finally get their hand, or even Wii U and Wii, when they're finally getting a chance now to pick it up and take that game on the go and be able to spend time with that game on the go or at home, but mainly on the go, they get to play a full-fledged game at their own pace. They get to make their own progress. So, these remasters and stuff is catching a lot of people up to games that they missed. Now some of the remakes like Resident Evil 2 that's coming out next year, Shadow of the Colossus was a great remake for a lot of people. Those games people are looking forward to. Problem about that is that because they're on the other big platforms, they're not going to continue to sell or be talked about. And it just feels like in this age with remasters and remakes and ports on Switch, they continue to be sold throughout the year. People are continuing to pick them up on a sale and be like, okay, now, man, I should have got this in last generation, or, now I understand why people are talking about this game. Because, once again, they can play that at their own place when they're on the go or when they're at home, when they're traveling and stuff. And so, a lot of companies are seeing that a lot of indies are making the same decision of bringing ports of that game to Nintendo Switch, and then seeing the good sales that it sold 75,000 copies or 150,000 copies, and it's continually to sell, and people are showcasing and stuff. So in this time, remakes, remasters, and ports, definitely on a Nintendo console, is showing how powerful people wanted third-party and indie games on a Nintendo platform over having them on a Sony or Microsoft platform.
Adrian, thoughts?
I was one of those person that when the PS4, especially the PS4, because I think they were the most guilty about this back in what was it, 2013, I think, 2014 maybe, when they released. I was very upset that they call The Last of Us remaster. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not remastered. Like, it looks, like slightly better, but it's not a full remaster. Like, don't come to me with that bullshit logic. So I was very upset. I was very local about it too. The thing with ports, though, and I think it was Todd Howard from Bethesda who said it best. Hey, if you wanted us to stop making the game, just stop buying it. Like, easy as that. And Skyrim is a game that people just continue buying all the time. So, I don't think we'll ever have like I don't think it will ever be truly done. I think people are gonna still buy the ports whenever, if they love a game, they're gonna keep buying the port because they love it. I mean, like I'll keep buying Mega Man X until the end of time, right? Like when it comes to a game that a lot of people love or some people love, or they may be like they don't have a way to experience those games anymore. I'm just trying to think of a good example. Let's see, what game is like trap on a console? Oh yeah, Goemon's the Goemon. I guess it's a trilogy, but there were only 2 N64 games. But those 2 games, right? Like I love them.
Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
Yeah, Legend of the Mystical Ninja. Yeah. Like I love those. I love both games on the N64, but they're trapped there. Like I can never play them again. There's no way for me to play them anymore. So if they were to remaster them, or heck, like at this point, like I will take the same game on any console. Like as long as I can buy it, I don't care where I'm buying it. Like there's always gonna be a market as long as some of those games are trap and there is no other way to play them, I think. And video game preservation is important. Like we've lost Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game is lost forever on the few lucky people that have it on 360 and PS3.
I do.
I do.
Yeah, but I never got it. A friend of mine had it, and we played it at his place, and that's all she wrote. Like I never had the need to buy it, and now I'm like regretting it a lot because I can't buy the game.
You know what that means, Adrian?
What?
It means you got to come down and visit so you can come play with me.
Dude, like you'll be surprised the number of people that own the game that don't even like Scott Pilgrim that much, except me. Like I have like at least 3 friends here who have it. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever, man. Like I want it, so thanks for rubbing it in, I guess.
No, I thought it was a great game. It's a solid little beat 'em up, and oh god, the guy's name escapes me that did the animation work for it, but he also did the phenomenal animated short. If nobody's ever seen it, I will drop a link to it in the show notes. Kings of Power plus 4 billion%. It's like a 14-minute epilepsy test, and it's fantastic.
Ooh, goodness.
Oh no, I've never seen that.
I will drop a link. I highly recommend. Check it out. It's super trippy and weird and bizarre in all the awesome ways. Plus, it gave the world new Ultimate Jesus.
Oh, damn.
But anyways,
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, but yeah, like that's another, like Scott Pilgrim versus the World is like another perfect example of, hey, we can't get this game, so like release a port on this generation and then re-release it on the next generation, and whoever holds the physical key is the one. Like, so for Okami, for example, right? Like in North America, it was only available on PS2 and Wii for physical copies. The PS3 was only digital. And I think did PS4 and Xbox One get physical copies here?
Yeah, they got the physical.
Man, that's bullcrap.
Yeah, Switch got the short end of the stick, which is why I had to import the Japanese one.
Yeah. But yeah, like again, like there's still gonna be a market as long as we can't play some of those games. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you think though that we're at risk of oversaturation of ports when it comes to the Switch library?
Nope, because everything is affordable on the Switch library. So what you would pay for something like God of War, you could get 2 to 3 games to be able to put on your Switch that is support.
I will say think Switch changed the conversation when it came to ports and remasters, though, too, because unlike the other two, unlike the Xbox One and the PS4, bringing it to Switch brought something new to the table by default just by putting it on the Switch, was that you not only were porting it to the latest console, but you were porting it to a handheld where somebody could pick it up and take it with them, too.
But
I think that changes that conversation significantly.
It's not even that. I mean, well, it's part of that, but these games...
I think that's a big part of it.
Well, not really. Well, I think it's a little part of it, because the thing about it is that some of these ports that's available on these other systems don't get the marketing and don't get the push and conversation. And now that these games are coming to Switch, you look on social media, people are talking more about that game. Chasm just came out, even though that is a new game, and the talk about that game is dead. If Chasm right now would have came out for Switch, I think more people would have been showing videos on that on Twitter, on Facebook, Snapchat, whatever. People would have been talking about more of that game and picking that game up more on Switch than they would on PlayStation.
I don't disagree.
Because and some of the stuff that come on Sony and Microsoft don't get pushed. It's if Nintendo reveals it, some people gonna be like, okay, later on they'll announce it for Xbox One and PS4. The exclusive was just announced it on Switch first, even though it's a port. When they marketed that game, when they continue to market that game and people pick it up, they're going to be suing #Switch. Look at Fortnite. Fortnite, even though that was big in the news, nobody was talking about playing that game on PS4, Xbox One, or PC. Every time I'm looking on Twitter, it says Fortnite, having a good time. Almost came in second. #, Nintendo Switch. I'm seeing that
the thing is
every day.
The thing is, like, the Switch allows for like a way easier share of clips than PS4. Well, I don't know about PS4, but on Xbox One it's a pain in the ass. So like that's a big difference there. But the local Microsoft store here in the city holds tournaments for Fortnite on Xbox One all the time. Like it's always packed, and it's always kids having like a good time and like playing the game they love, and like it's really cool to see. Like I haven't seen that on anything really for like a while.
Yeah, but it just feel like the shift of Fortnite being ported to Switch is that it's getting even more recognition and more talk about it because of Nintendo Switch, even though it's been on the other platforms.
Yeah, no, that's the other thing too, is that it feels like there's been a big drastic change in Nintendo's marketing too, that they, compared to last gen, where they put something out and just kind of shuffled it out the door without much fanfare, versus every time something, crops up for Switch, ranging from, mid to top tier, they're making a point of like blasting the horn, going, "Hey, this is coming! Buy the shit!"
Yeah,
and I think that's also making a big difference too. But I like
one of the things about remasters and like imports and stuff is that they don't become backlog games when it comes to Nintendo Switch. Like,
I don't know, man. I have quite a lot of them on my back.
You have, but yeah, but you know what? I bet you when you bought that, you gave it maybe an hour and a half. Like you was playing it, and you probably had to divide it at your times because you started focus on one game and stuff. But like people who probably own the other consoles and even Steam, they probably, when they bought that game, they were just like, it's in my library, I'm good to go, and haven't touched it at all yet. Yeah. Like, me and Corey, we talk about how we want to play Tomb Raider and DMC, Devil May Cry on Switch. Heck, I feel like DMC, the Devil May Cry, the one that Ninja Theory did, let that series be on Switch. Don't give us Devil May Cry 5. Don't care about that. Give us the other DMC, and I bet you it would do wonders on Switch. And if they want to split it up to that series, give us the low tier one. As long as you give us great animation, a great story, a balanced fighting system, people will pick it up. And add the turbo, of course.
Yeah. No, like I said, it was a thought that was kind of rolling around my head today as I was looking at some of the stuff coming out, and I'm getting ready to put in my order for Undertale on Switch, and it's honestly it's
when
the
is
first
that
time.
going live? By the way,
Pre-orders are up now, as a matter of fact, but I believe it's due out in October.
Because I think Japan is getting it.
I
think Japan is getting it earlier than us. Then I don't think it's a world release. I think Japan is getting it before us.
No, I think the same release date is for everything.
For everything?
Yeah. However, the one issue is that I think both collector's edition are also coming to like the US and Japan, but at least in Canada, good old Canada.
Yay,
the
Canada.
pre-orders, the pre-orders are not up yet, sadly. So
I will send
pre-ordering
you a
it
link
today.
to pre-orders here, Adrian.
Sorry?
I'm going to drop a link to pre-orders in the Skype chat for you.
All right. I actually don't know how to open the chat.
I can drop it in the Facebook chat if that's easier for you.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I have no idea. Oh, there we go. This is how. Never mind. I figured it out.
Yep.
Oh, because it's Fan Gamer doing it, eh?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, see, I tried to go to EB Games here. All right. That makes more sense then.
Yep.
I might actually have to pre-order that through Fan Gamer then, and pick up a couple of cool shirts while I'm at it.
Yeah. Fangamer, I just got my order in from my latest order from Fangamer in today. I've ordered a couple of goodies from Hollow Knight from Fangamer. I ordered my sick Hollow Knight retro shirt a couple weeks ago, and my latest edition is I just got my my Wander lapel pin from Hollow Knight, and it's super fantastic. So
Yeah, it's kind of
the big box for Undertale looks awesome.
It's good that like limited run games, Fangamer, Nicholas, and like some of these small tiers bringing out these indie and kind of ported titles, physically, definitely for Switch, because people are treating those companies like they are Activision or Konami or Capcom or Bethesda. They're treating them on the same level as those companies, and that's huge. That really is huge. So I think that's why the ports and the remasters and stuff really matter to consumers nowadays. It didn't matter to some of the people who had the PS4 and Xbox One in the beginning, but to Switch owners, yeah, I think when people got their hands on the Nintendo Switch in the on first, and they laughed at the library. They didn't expect their library to be full of ports and be this big, and then you see new indies and stuff even coming along, and it's selling about 50 to 75,000 plus some copies, and keeping these developers in business.
Yeah, there are many good success stories, especially for indies on Switch. So happy to see that.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, there's been a lot of good stuff coming port-wise to Switch, and for some reason, just the combination of it being portable the fact that it's a Nintendo console
Mhm.
has me looking at stuff that I normally probably wouldn't have played otherwise. Honestly, like case in point, I've kind of looked at Undertale from afar and gone, looks neat. I just I don't want to play it on anything else. But when it came to Switch, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll pick that up and finally take it for a spin.
Yeah.
So
The ports and stuff are guaranteed sales to me on Switch than anything else. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't mind sports as much as anymore, and especially for like we sometimes don't like think about this because we're like hardcore gamers and we try to consume as much of the hobby as possible. Like I buy games left and right, even when I don't have the money nor the time to play them. But like there are plenty of people that never got to experience some of those games. So if ports are the only way for them to do so, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
well, I think here's a good place to wrap. I know a couple of us have some things to take care of. Since you're not normally with us, but maybe hopefully we'll start getting you back a little more often with any luck here. Adrian, anything you want to share? Anything you want to pimp? I believe you're either wrapping or just recently wrapped on your latest project.
I'm wrapping soon actually. We've been developing Breeding Rush for like over a year now, I think actually. And it's taken me really like all my time. Every time I complain about not being able to play enough games or not having enough time to like do anything, like everyone that knows me knows that I do that all the time. It really is because I've just been like hands down just working on my game all the time. And recently we had like a very successful expo where people really seem to like the game. So that kind of like lift my spirits a little bit. And honestly, it's been a long time coming, but I'm waiting, craving for the game to be done now. So hopefully we'll wrap it soon, and I'll be able to rest for a little bit until we start on the next project, because we're crazy people like that. But yeah, Reading Rush expected very soon on iOS and Android. Hopefully, other platforms we'll see how that pans out after the game releases. But yeah, just follow at Frozen Machine, sorry, on Twitter, and you'll get notified when the game launches. And if you wanna be part of the mailing list, just shoot us a tweet over there, and I'll be happy to add you to the mailing list.
Yeah, I was say get on it. His Adrian's last couple of works were a ton of fun. Big shout out for Tuna Cycle and Bugs Are Stupid.
Thanks, man.
So
yeah, I'm like I said, Reading Rush is really a love letter to the kind of games that I always wanted to make, and more than that, it's a love letter to both my nieces who I kind of designed the games. Sorry, all three of my nieces. I forgot the latest one. But yeah, like one of them was having issues when she first moved here about like speaking English and whatnot. So I really just made it for her. So.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hooray for passion projects. So
You gotta do them.
Paul Robertson. That's who did Kings of Power and the Scott Pilgrim animation work.
Yeah.
Paul Robertson. It's gonna drive me nuts. Glad I figured that shit out. So, anyways, But yeah, I want to say a big, huge thank you to Adrian for making time to come back home to us finally. Like I said, hopefully we'll see you around a little more again.
Yeah,
Things settling down a
thanks
little
for
bit.
having me. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. That was really fun. I haven't podcasting. I don't even know. I forgot the last time I did, to be honest.
Simon's Cake.
Yeah, I think I did something for them for the last episode. I didn't even remember when that was though, but yeah, shout out to them as well because they are always super willing to work around my schedule. I know Cam and Joe are gonna change things up soon. I think they're gonna be working on some stuff probably after they have their first baby. But yeah, no, shout outs to them because like I said, I have a awful schedule, and they've been super accommodating and just basically working around mine instead of me working around theirs. So I really appreciate them doing so.
So, well, in that case, I think here's as good a place as any to shut it down, boys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, you can find us at our home on shoutengine.com, iTunes, Google Play Music. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on either your RSS feed or on Google Play or on iTunes, and hit that auto download so that way you never miss an episode. Other than that, we'll be back next week. Good night, everybody.
And we'll see you all next time on World 1-1 Podcast. Bye, everybody.
Peace.